Hey everybody, what's up? It's Pete over at Battlestocks. I'm going to do a little bit of a crypto video heading into the weekend. There's been a ton of activity in crypto. Last weekend specifically, we had some really big pushes to the downside. So what we're going to do is we're going to map out the short-term crypto, starting out with Bitcoin Cash, so you can get some good picks in this weekend. Something I really find interesting, clearly the short-term crypto trend is down. There's not even a question about that. But what I really like, and I'm going to zoom out here a little bit, is basically this consolidation here. That there's two things to like in these three candles, and something that's very significant about what's happening here right now, which is obviously the trend line break of this August downtrend. First and foremost is sellers tried to push it lower, and finally they got rejected. You can see that all the way down here. As it kept pushing lower, it was closing on the lows, which was very important to confirm the selling was going on. We thought we had a little bit of a bottom here. It's something that we call a swing low, very similar to what we have here, and was looking for this type of a candlestick here on the daily chart, but we actually did not get it. We were looking for some follow-through after we pushed lower. But what's interesting here is a much larger range, kind of flushed out a lot of the weak hands. Tried to push up again, didn't quite retrace back down here, but then we got an inside candle after these two candles, and then the larger green candles. You can see the difference between this candle here and this bottom versus this candle and this potential bottom. So very interesting. We're right there at the Bitcoin Cash level looking for possible bottom. I love the fact that it bottomed out like this. What's going to be very important is you'll notice this level here. One of the mistakes that a lot of people make in charting is they use the higher the low with abandon, for lack of a better way of putting it, and just trust that it's the higher the low. But if you really look into this, you see this 580 here, it pushed below 580 and couldn't stay there, pushed below, it leveled at that support, got to 580 again, tried getting above 580 again, tried getting above 580 again. That's the real number. It's not this high, it's not that high, it's 580. So what we're looking at now is it's right around 561. 580 is the first level that we need to get above. So obviously breaking this downtrend is significant, but we want to get it up to 580, hold 580, and then best case scenario, we start looking for a 50% retracement. So if we actually start getting into the cryptos versus the US dollar, a lot more indecision here on the Bitcoin USD. But what I do like is the fact that we're finally holding the bid. You know, it's terminology you're going to start to hear us use quite a bit. Well bid, well offered, holding the bid. Sellers are pushing down on it. What I mean by that is the color of the candle and the consistency of the candle from one to the other, both in the color as well as making higher highs and higher lows. So we had a lot of indecision here. We punched through this level, couldn't stay there. You can see we tested it, bounced back up. So I like the fact that it looks like we're bottoming out. However, if you notice this trend line and this trend line, 6,800 to 6,200 is a channel. It's been a significant level multiple times, so we're kind of right in the middle there. So other than good, solid, short-term crypto picks right now, so you'd be looking to trade to the long side, you look to be a buyer, continue to be a buyer all the way up to that 6,800 level, which you should be able to do over the weekend pretty comfortably. So if we drop this down to the 15-minute chart, you can see that we actually had a nice solid push over here in the last 24 hours or so, and we seem to be holding it. So we got to get above this 64.50 level to feel confident. However, that doesn't mean that you can't be making some pretty nice aggressive picks on the long side in Bitcoin over the weekend. Moving along, heading into Dash, a little bit more of a sustained downtrend. Maybe not as much liquidity either. Some people will trade this just because it's a little bit more affordable, and we'll get into the other ones in a second. But again, excuse me, the consistency that I like here is low, higher low, higher low, higher low. So right now the bids are being held. So when you make your Bitcoin or your crypto picks this weekend inside of Battlestocks, keep an eye on that. As long as we keep making higher lows and best case scenario make higher highs, which you can see on the opposite side here, as long as we keep making those higher lows, buyers are coming in and supporting higher prices. Best case scenario, we start to push to higher highs as well. Looking on Ethereum, very much same thing. Again, this is almost identical to the Bitcoin Cash where we flushed down, came all the way back, pushed up, held that price basically, right? Looking at that price at 280. Then this is interesting. We had an inside candlestick and now an inside candlestick breakout. just so you know, inside candlesticks are a consolidation in price action leading to the next move. And typically, when cryptos or stocks in general break out of consolidations, you will get a strong, persistent move in that direction. And if you want some proof, well, we got it right here. We got multiple candles in a row, and when they finally broke out, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 giant red candles coming out of these inside candles. And this was actually really interesting. You had inside, inside, inside. So you actually had 3 inside days in a row that pushed down into some really awesome crypto picks to play in the game. So Litecoin, obviously going to be the same thing. Inside to breakout. So again, higher highs, higher lows. The higher highs and higher lows don't matter as much for an inside candlestick. This one is now out of the candlestick. If the next candlestick starts to do the same thing with a higher high and a higher low, we're looking at some pretty good push to the upside there. At least that's what we'd anticipate. But that's what trading is, right? Trading, making your picks, it's setting up probabilities based on what's going on and learning how to read the tape. So we'll take a look at Ripple and we'll call it a day here. So Ripple actually giving us an even bigger breakout from this inside candle. So again, why is this important? Well, look, it's not an expensive one. It doesn't have massive price action. However, volatility is relative to what it normally does, and this had a big spike. So you might not be trading Ripple, but taking those same principles of understanding push down, couldn't hold, got to that level, and refused to stay down there now after much more savage moves to the downside. Make sure you get involved this week. Make your crypto picks, win more coins, get in there, and do it to the long side because it looks like things have turned around, at least from a short-term basis. And that's the biggest thing with the game. Get in there, get as many repetitions as you can and as many games as you can. Win more coins so you can keep playing. The more good decisions you make, the easier it's going to be for you to become a better trader in real life as well as move your status up in the battle stocks community. So have a great weekend. Hope this helped. Make your crypto picks this weekend. It is August 17th, 2018 at 4:30 in the afternoon. So we're setting up the crypto picks for tonight and for the weekend. Big moves in the crypto market last weekend. Don't miss them this weekend.